Todd, have you talked about what the first 10 minutes might be like tonight, given the words that have been coming out of the Pittsburgh room, just how desperate they are right now, and how do you plan to diffuse that?
We did talk about it. I was reading some of the things coming out yesterday, and it was what I expected anyways. It's 2-2 series, and this game is the next most important game, and I expected them to come out hard, regardless of what they were saying, but you could see that there's some desperation, I think, that's been created, and we got to be ready for their start. The way they came out in Game 2 was really fast. We got to be ready for something similar to that, if not more.
Thought a little while ago, Dan said that he noticed in the last game he saw that you maybe made an adjustment to your power play breakout, and that was kind of his aha moment. There's the Todd Richards fingerprint I was looking for. You recalled you doing something similar in a series against Hershey years ago. Have you had a moment like that with Dan in terms of a coaching move he's made? Maybe you said, here's his chess move.
Well,
this series.
Dan has done a really good job with his group. You know, he does change his power play breakouts. You know, Crosby or Malkin, key guys for them are, you know, in different places out on the ice. So sometimes it's tough to locate those two guys. But I think the one thing where Dan, you know, one of the things that we always used to talk about was being unpredictable. You know, your team's predictable because you know how you want to play, but being unpredictable to your opponent forces you to have to adjust. And, you know, one area that Dan's done a really good job with his group is face-offs. Just you're lining up and they aren't predictable. They aren't doing the same thing every time. And you have to be on your toes. You got to be aware of where guys are lined up and maybe what plays that they're trying to run off of it.
Todd, there was a lot of talk before the series began about how young your team was. A lot of guys who hadn't played in playoff games before. Now they've got 4+ games of experience under their belt. Can you see a difference in their confidence, whatever? Can you pick up on things that some of those young guys have learned on that may be applied in tonight's game?
I think it's been for everyone, not just our young guys. I think getting past the, you know, Game 1 here. I think getting past Game 1 at home too is there was a lot of stuff going on for everyone just to experience for the first time. But I don't think our guys, you know, where I looked at it and go, oh, now we're starting to. Or they've been overwhelmed. I think it was just those first two initial things that have happened, but I think that's normal, especially experiencing our building for the first time and seeing what that could be like and what it was. So it was, no, I haven't had any worries about our young guys and adjusting.
The faceoffs have been a pretty good advantage for you in this series. Just do you look at the overall number, or do you maybe break it down into different zones or different areas on the ice or different individual situations at all?
Am I looking at what though? What am I?
Just when you look at face-off numbers, do you look at, you know, face-offs in the attacking zone, the neutral zone, and do you break it down, not so much the overall number, but individual situations in different areas?
Really, what I'm looking for in face-offs is matchups, and then success rates against certain guys. For me, obviously defensive zone face-offs. For me, and depending on what the score is, offensive zone faceoffs can be really important. But for me, it's all about the defensive zone faceoffs, starting with the puck instead of allowing them to start with the puck, where you have to defend now in your own zone. So there is a couple things that you look at: time of the game, what's going on. For me, it's for Pittsburgh, who was just out on the ice, who am I expecting to come out as far as the faceoffs.
Coach, are there any returning players to the lineup tonight, especially on the blue line? Can you confirm?
There's no change up front with the forwards. We're expecting Tootin and Ryan Murray to be back in the lineup tonight.
And what does that obviously bring to the team?
What does it bring? Yeah. Well, Tootin's an experienced guy, and you know, the one thing is you know, somebody asked me, it must be nice to have all these decisions. And it is nice to have decisions and putting guys, you know, guys that go into the lineup. The hard thing is guys got to come out of the lineup. And coming off of the game that we just had at home, a big emotional win, guys like Nick Schultz and Dalton Proud, who will be out of the lineup tonight because those other two are going in, did a really good job for us. So it's never as easy putting guys in because there's guys that got to come out. And I think our team is our players, and I think every player at this time of year wants to play, wants to be a part of it, and our guys have done a really good job throughout the year. So it's nice when you add a guy like Tootin and Ryan, because they both have had really good years, and they've both been really good for our hockey team. But it's hard because Nick Schultz, a trade deadline player that we acquired, has done a good job going in and filling in, and Dalton Prout has done a good job as well.
A lot has been made of the pressure that Pittsburgh is under, the expectations going into this series. That external pressure wasn't there for Columbus. Does that make you a more dangerous team, or allow you to play looser through this series going into Game 5 tonight?
I believe underdogs always have a little bit of that edge, and I'm just talking about lack of pressure and not as much pressure. There's pressure on our guys. It's not that we're just carefree, and we're because I think guys expect to win. We expect certain things, and some of that is built up throughout the season and our attitude, and so it's not a bad role to be in the underdog role, being a young team.
Todd, you guys have a power play goal, I think, in 14 of the past 15. Is there anything you've been specifically happy with, or that you guys have done well to necessitate that?
Our battles, I think, off of when we shoot the puck or off scrambles, I think our battles have been a lot better as far as retrieving pucks. We're creating more scrambles out front of the net, and whether we're able to finish there, we can at least work it out of there and then retain possession of the puck. I think that's probably been one of the better things that we've done here, end of the season leading into the playoffs.